Okay, so just a few tips in terms of using your visualiser to record. So you should have this iPivo software, iPivo visualiser that you downloaded with the information that came from the box. First thing really is just to make sure your settings are set up correctly. So it's this little cog up in the top corner. The general settings, so choosing where you're going to save your videos, so just choosing an appropriate file so you always know where to find your videos in there. So that comes under the general setting. And then also the other thing that I would pick up on is have a look and see which microphone is your visualiser trying to use. So when you click on microphone, I've got the option of the visualiser microphone, the iPivo, or my laptop microphone, which I found is slightly better. And then I've set the quality to excellent as well. So just making sure that that's all set up first. You've got lots of functions at the side that you can play around with. You've got zoom, you can rotate if you can't quite get the visualiser or your document in the right orientation, so you can rotate that around. But then one key thing is the resolution. The one that I found works best is the 1280 by 720, but you might just need to play around with that depending on the laptop that you're using. And then the last thing is at the bottom. So this small arrow here allows you to switch between the different functions that it is that you're using on your visualiser. So obviously the camera takes a photo, you've then got the recording, you've then got slow motion, and you've also got time lapse as well. So when you've decided what it is that you want to do, so probably want to record, you come away from that, click on the button, and then it will start recording for you. And then as soon as you need it to, you just need to press stop. Obviously you can do whatever it is that you need to do on here, and then stop, and then that will be saved in there, and then you just need to alter the date and then upload it. The other thing that I've been using to record my PowerPoints, but also to record my visualiser work as well, is Loom, so www.loom.com. So if you go into this, you've got two options. You can either download the desktop app, or what I've done actually is just got it over here as a Google Chrome extension. So then it just pops a little symbol up in your Google Chrome bar. The reason I've been using this to record my visualiser work is because you can pause in between. So if there's anything, so what I've been doing is doing one whole question on my visualiser, pausing the recording, cleaning my visualiser, and then moving on to the next question. Obviously it's not essential to do that, but I've also found this works really well with recording either Google Slides or PowerPoint, or you can just record a whole desktop with this. It's also got lots of combinations. So if you go into Loom, then you can see some of the videos that I've done there already. But if I show you an example of what I mean. So this is the lesson that my year 10s are going to do. So then what I wanted to do is I just wanted to talk them through some elements of it. So all I need to do now is click onto here. So click onto the record function up here. Then I've got an option. I can either just record the screen only, and if I want to do that, I've got two choices in that. I can either record the current tab, which would just record my PowerPoint here, or I could record my full desktop, and that would allow me, if I wanted to switch between different PowerPoint slides, or switch between different, switch from a PowerPoint to the internet, or switch from, show them different things on the internet. I could scroll through a Word document. There's lots of different things you can do if you just use the full desktop. You can do all of that within the recording. The other option you can do is you can just record using the camera, and recording just from the camera, you have a choice. So you can see down here, it shows me which camera it's accessing at the moment. So this is what it looks like at the moment. So actually it's linked to my visualiser, and I can make it bigger so that I can see it. But because I have chosen camera only, the students would just have a video that shows them just this. So if I've got some working behind that I want to be following, I can record it and read the working, and the student won't see that at all. I can switch from that camera, so over here it says camera source. If I want to, I can change that, and I could choose my fabulous computer laptop camera if I wanted to. If I wanted to talk the students through something. you do need to make sure that you check which microphone yours is using. So I actually find that Loom works best if I use the microphone that's on the visualiser. But here you can see this little line wiggling around shows me that the microphone is working perfectly. So I have no problems with that. And then the other option I've got, if I want to, is I could record the screen and the camera. And again, within that, I can either do the full desktop or I can do the current tab. So what's really lovely there is if I wanted to, I could have my, my little image down here at the side. Once I start this recording, I could walk the students through this PowerPoint here, but then if there's something I wanted to show them on the visualiser to come away from the PowerPoint, then I can do that using the camera that's at the side. And in the recording, you can make that bigger and then change it and make it smaller again. You can also pause your recordings down here. So I'll show you if I start recording, it gives me a timer. So then I can start my recording. I can go through anything that I was choosing down here. But then if I want to, I can pause and then resume the recording as I would. Now when I do that, if I've finished my recording, then I click the tick. If I want to cancel the recording, and that will delete absolutely everything you've done, then you tick the cross down here, click on the cross. Okay. Once you click finish recording, what it will do is it will take you to Loom and it will show you your recording you've got. Now when you come through to Loom, you've got different options. You can either just copy this link here, and what that will do is that will bring the students to this page and they can see your recording from this page. Or what I found quite easy is I've just been downloading the recording and then uploading it as an MP4 file onto Google Classroom. You've got different options really. The advantage of giving them the link is it does then show you how many views that they've had. So you can come in and have a look and see how many students have actually viewed it. If you're not entirely happy with your video, obviously you can replay it and you can trim and play around with it. It's not particularly the easiest function to use, the trim, so I'd try and avoid that if I was you. If you want to make sure you share your video but you want to keep it private to the students, you can add a password to it and just give the students just that password. Just one more sort of trick really when you're doing that. If you do want to record just the screen, so either screen and camera or screen only, be really careful because I don't just want to use a photo for my screen. I want to make sure that I can actually click through my screen and show the students exactly what it is that I'm doing. So I want to come off of that. I want my screen to still be usable as it would normally be. So if I am recording the screen and not just my visualiser, I've got to make sure that that's off. So then when I start the recording, it will carry on as it was. Now here I want to show my screen, so I'm just going to walk through and the students can see this screen as we're working through. So we're going to go through some examples, I'm going to talk them through these examples here, and I can click through the PowerPoint as I would normally. This is actually a Google slide, but it works the same with anything you're using. And I can just click through. And then actually, when I get to later on, when the students are actually having a go at a couple of questions, what I can do obviously is tell my students to pause there. But then actually, if I want to, I can do one of these questions. I can make this a little bit bigger. Then I could go through one of the questions over here. And then I can make it smaller again and then carry on the PowerPoint that I was working on. If you want to completely hide this, then you click on the little cross and that will hide that completely for you. So that's just something that I've been using just to help record a combination of my mini whiteboard and also PowerPoints and things like that, and then upload. Hopefully that's useful.